All right, guys, how's the day going?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guys got a couple really good calls going, couple applications. Got to let a couple borrowers go that's just not hacking it to make room for the ones that we could actually get moving right now.
And that's what it is. Get them moving. Best quality service you can give and move on, right? So I love it. I love it. Let's get some stuff going. I'm not going to dig into the pipeline too much because me and Jill just went over the pipeline. Does
Yay!
anybody have questions on their pipeline? Does anybody have a pipeline yet? All right. That was quick. Let's move on. If they're not buying it, it's because it's not really needed, or somebody else, whether it's them or somebody else, is outselling you. That's really what it comes down to, right? So if there's no benefit, you shouldn't be talking them long anyways, right? Like, and I see we get off the phone pretty quick with those guys. Has no debts, has a good rate. And then my mind's like, why the hell did they call? But they did. And we just tell them like, no, you're in a great position, but we'll keep you posted, blah, blah, blah. But if somebody has debts and is in a bad position, even like this Fowler guy, we'll try and convince him, right? Will, but he might be one of those guys that's just hard-headed, not convinced, unconvincible, and he's out gonna sell me or us if he can't do it because he does have $30,000 of debt. So my conversation with him is gonna be like, because he said we're gonna explore other options. I'm gonna be like, what are the other options? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, I have the money in the savings, but why are you not doing it? You're spending $1,000 in interest a month. You're not making $1,000 of interest. I guarantee it with your 40 grand in the bank. Probably making $40. so, so anyways, I just want to throw that out there. Remember, we're selling money. Use these tools. Use the option. Use the presentation if you need to. Mostly, hopefully, if you do such a great job on that call and these people love you and they want to have your babies, then they're just going to say, what do you think is best? And you're going to say, I think the 6.75 is because the costs are lower, so you can get more cash out. And plus, this is a short-term fix and blah, 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 blah. So we'll cut back there and you're going to pay off all these debts and you're not going to do it again, right, Mrs. Johnson? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's get it going. If you change your mind or we want to change it later, we can, but let's not slow it down right now. Let's get the ball. So control the conversation, guys. That's all I gotta say on that part. Okay, cool. So yeah, you don't forget those tools. Write them down if you want to. Make cheat notes if you want to. If person's indecisive, I use the option tool. If person doesn't know how much cash they want or if the savings is worth it, I use the presentation tool. If I've sold good enough, I use no tools except my great Grant Cardone tones and lingo and language. Again, let me know if there's anything we need to fix on these things here. You could write. I'm going to try and create this in here. I'm trying to build it out too. Another side project. But in the meantime, I highly suggest everybody to keep track of their own numbers. This is like a sample in here. You don't even need to keep track of this, but I would keep a spreadsheet. And I used to keep a spreadsheet all the time of my deals, like how many leads did I take? Because I want to know for my own self, right? You should want to know like what you're converting at too, right? It doesn't have to be this detailed. This will be something that'll hopefully get built out eventually, and then we can see how everything is working out, like lead to application, funded, lead to fund, app to funded, the cost per fundings, and all that kind of stuff that go along with it. But I would say like get up, make a spreadsheet. Or if you don't already, maybe you do this already. If you do, awesome, keep doing it. Or even a notepad that you keep daily. At the end of every day, write down how many leads you took, how many or calls you have, and how many leads you took, right? Like make the spreadsheet. We might even have one in the sales folder. Maybe Ed has one. I don't know. But how many leads did I get? How many calls did I make? How many apps did I get? How many subbies did I get, right? Just make a column for each one and keep track of it. Because again, I can show you the metrics eventually too as well. And you'll see them as you start progressing and things start moving through the pipeline. But you want to know for yourself. At least I do. I want to take pride in what I do. Like I want to be making sure my shit's on top of the game there. So I would highly suggest just creating some kind of spreadsheet. Again, who cares if it's on a paper or an Excel or whatever you want to do. I used to make an Excel spreadsheet. Again, I'm old. Like you just called me out on Taylor from like the 90s or whatever. But I used to make my spreadsheet and I'd print up like 3 or 4 copies of it. And then I'd keep it in front of me and just do my tallies on each one, right? Like call, app, whatever it was, just keep track of it because then it lets me know what I'm doing. Because this in this business, it's all about what we do, right? Our accountability for ourselves. So just little tips of things I've done over the past that make me, screw everybody else. I'm challenging myself on this, right? Like whenever I was doing it, like when I went to Greenlight or whatever these places are, I did all that for myself. I wanted to be number one, not to beat everybody else, just be number one, whatever that was, but not compare myself to mediocrity. I don't want to talk to the people that have onesie twosies, right? My friends out there in the business that are bitching and moaning. I'm talking to my friends that got 20, 30, 20, 30 of their own business. And how can I get there? 20, 30 of other people's business. People I talk to, I know somebody like Option One that's killing it right now. I know somebody at New America's killing it. I know a guy in AFN in like, who's I talking to? Ed or Will about this guy. Where's he at? Michigan? Wisconsin? Smaller loan amounts and stuff, killing it, doing 3 to 5 million a month right now by himself with no marketing, just word of mouth, friends, right? Small community people. So like I look at those people more than I look at the guy that's like bitching at Loan Depot that he's crying about it, right? I don't care. He's not good. His head's not in the right place. I want to talk to the killers. So nobody wants to talk to our FHA client about how to convert loans when they're in $50,000 of debt. Come on now. So yeah, all right. Where are we at? Are we making the hour today? Holy cheese balls! Holy cheese balls! We got a few more minutes, guys. What are your guys' thoughts? Thoughts, opinions, good, bad?
I would say a huge thing that I've learned over the past like week or so is the value of the follow-up. I know me personally, as well as Matt especially, has been, picking up some apps after the seventh, eighth call sometimes, from the loss list even. Yeah. So definitely been learning the value of that. And yeah, I think I had another lady today that I scheduled an appointment with. It was after like the eighth call, and I was able to get an appointment with her. She still wants to explore a couple things. So yeah, been learning the value of the follow-up for sure.
Dude, yeah. If you're watching Grant Cardone too, he'll go. He has a few good things about that as well. You'll find out. Yeah. Any sales, it's always about the follow up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always about. So it's good that you're hearing it and you're doing it, because like we talk about this all the time until we're blue in the face, but until you actually experience it, you probably don't think about it, right? So
yeah.
Or you're doing it and you see it actually play out. That's why I'm like excited for people to steal a loan somebody couldn't do, because that's impactful for me. Like when somebody took a loan I couldn't close, I learned a hell of a lot more than I did about somebody talking about it. And I think that's going to be important. So that's good too.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to bring up, I forgot to, you just reminded me, is to make sure, again, it's a follow-up. It's a long game that we play here, right? This isn't selling vacuums and I got to close so many doors today. This is a long game. So if you have somebody who doesn't qualify for credit, try to get them in the credit repair. Try to help them out some way. What I do now will get me that business in 3 months or 6 months or 2 months or 1 month or whatever it is, right? So and you will see that the people that call back because you made an impression or you helped them out some way. It might not be tomorrow or next week, but they're going to compile over time. So yeah, make sure you're spreading that word, passing them off, and giving them other avenues to help it so they can come back to you. And now you've given them something valuable that they love and trust you for.
Right.
I love it though, man. Follow up is huge, guys. Huge. You're going to notice in this market, it's probably more important than it has been in the last few years, because in this market, it might be the follow-up because they can't qualify right now. Maybe the rates are too high or something, right? There's no benefit right now. Like that's a big one, right? We see a lot of that stuff. So those are all people that follow-up is going to be important. Why we try and build these like rate watchers and stuff like that. That's to follow up and be like, great news. Remember I talked to you 6 months ago? You probably got a few of my emails and text messages since then. Rates are finally where they need to be for you. Let's get this thing going, right? That's going to be the follow-up of how you handle those people down the road. So yeah, follow-up is key, guys. Anybody else? Thought my soundboard over here would work. It doesn't work. You guys don't hear anything? Jeez.
No. Did you have a button you were trying to press?
I did, man. I was trying to hit my crickets button over here, but apparently it doesn't work on Teams. Jiminy crickets. All right, guys, that's it. Let's roll. We got subbies called out. Will, how many subbies you calling today? You hopped off earlier, or this week? I'm sorry, not today. This week.
Let's go with 5.
Sweet. All right. 5 for Taylor, 3 for Matt. A couple apps for Matt G. 5 for Will, 2 for Jared. That's what we're looking at today, or this week. I keep saying today. Man, I'm so excited about this week. All right, let's get 7 or no. 15 subbies this week.
Do it.
15 subbies between all of us, guys. Let's rock and roll. Let's do it.
Yep.
As always, reach out, help each other, pass things around, and help each other get grow. Hand off one, get another one from them later on, or whatever the case is. Get them in. Have a takeaway, whether it's a deal or a learning experience, something positive takeaway from every single one. So, and be patient. Be patient because we'll get better over time. That's really what it is, the time. So, all right, guys, let's
Sounds
rock
good.
and roll.
Jared, could I get that code from you while I still
I
have
knew
you
it was
here as
coming. I
well?
was waiting for you to ask
Yes,
before we got
sir.
off.
Yes, sir.
All right, here it is. It's 499333.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
All
Appreciate
right, no
it.
worries. No worries. Let me know how it goes.
Yep, we'll do.
All right, man. Later.
Yes, sir.